media in the US has generally been very sympathetic to the Sussexes, compared to the UK where the reaction has been mixed. However, one American wrote into a British royal podcast to explain that the US public have actually noticed there are lots of holes in Meghan and Harry's story. They added that their poor little rich couple narrative during a pandemic is ridiculous. Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Anne Gripper and features Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. Ms. Gripper read out a message they received from a listener called Kelly O'Keefe who explained that she was American but spent time living in London. She praised the podcast for showing both sides and debunking claims made by the royal couple. She claimed that most of the people she knows in the US are not as pro-Sussex as the media seems to be. She said she enjoyed the comparison they made on the podcast to George Clooney. Who has to shell out huge amounts of money each year to keep his family safe. When discussing the cost of the Sussexes' security and who should shoulder that burden. Ms. O'Keefe said, "Listen to your podcast and loving it. Love that you are showing both sides and are factually, I feel, debunking some of the lies. One thing I would like to point out. I am an American but have spent some time living in London over the years. Is that you just said American press post-interview seems to be pro-Sussex. True to the press but not true to the American people. Most of the people I know and have spoken to here see so many holes in the interview and the whole poor little rich couple during a pandemic is ridiculous. Love the George Clooney comparison. Around 17.1 million people watched the Oprah interview on CBS, according to Nielsen's TV ratings. This is more than twice as many people usually watch CBS in prime time on a Sunday night, which has an average of 6.5 million viewers. However, it is still only 5% of the US population and pales in comparison to events like the Super Bowl, which raked in 102.1 million viewers in 2020, around 31% of the US population. This indicates that this may not have been as much of a big deal in the US as it was in the UK. The ITV broadcast averaged 11.1 million viewers, which is around 16% of the UK population. Meghan and Harry have always singled out British tabloids in their criticism of the media, implying that they are worse than other media outlets around the world. However, the existence of the royal rota in the UK means that often British outlets actually hold back when it comes to the royals, so as not to lose their access. It was shortly after moving to the US that a drone was used to take pictures of Meghan and Harry's baby son Archie when they were staying in the home of Tyler Perry in Los Angeles, something that never happened in the UK. Similarly, when Kate, Duchess of Cambridge had pictures taken of her sunbathing topless in France. UK newspapers refused to run the story, but a French outlet ran it on their front page. On the night of Princess Diana's tragic death, when she was being followed by paparazzi, this harassment was taking place in Paris, not the UK. However, the American press remains mostly uncritical about Meghan and Harry, which is perhaps why they prefer to deal with them over UK media. Mr. Myers said he would not be surprised if the Sussexes have another conversation with Oprah, or speak to her CBS colleague Gayle King. If they are not satisfied with the palace's response to their explosive claims. Ms. King seems to be in contact with the couple, as she reported that Harry's first conversation with William post-interview was unproductive. Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer noted that the US media seems to have taken a wholly uncritical view of Meghan and Harry's story. He wrote on Twitter, apart from a piece in The Atlantic, I think, and elements of the Murdoch empire. Most of the big US media companies seem to have taken an unquestioning, one-sided jingoistic view of this story, covering it as one about our American princess who was wronged by the Brits. There have been disturbing signs in the past few days, for example, that parts of the CBS empire have decided they don't want to listen to anyone challenging Harry and Meghan's version of events. He added, while there were some balanced US news reports about the bullying allegations against Meghan, I think it is fair to say coverage of the Sussexes has opened British eyes to the shortcomings of American TV. Time to bring back that fairness doctrine?